Hey guys, this is Mel, and I'm back to talk about Supernatural, episode 1420, titled Moriah. I don't know how to say that, but it premiered Thursday, April 25th, 2019 on the CW. I am recording roughly 10 minutes after the episode is aired. So, huge spoiler alert. If you haven't seen the episode already, please go do so first and then come back and see what I have to say about the episode. Because, guys, I'm still freaking out right now about what this could mean for the final season. It's too crazy. So, I'm going to try to do this in 10 minutes. Shouldn't I give myself 15? No, I'll do it in 10. I'll do it in 10. So, let's start now. So, season finale. Timeline wise, this continues straight from where the events of 1419 ended, which is with Jack just escaping the Malik box, and you kind of continue right through it. So you can kind of watch the two as if no time has passed. Episode breakdown, Chuck surprise. That's right. Chuck returns as God. So there is that. Episode breakdown, I pretty much boiled it down to two, being A World Without Lies and Stopping Jack. Pretty much A World Without Lies deals with Jack pretty much stating he wants the world to stop lying, and in doing so, he had his power make it so that the world could not lie, which brought chaos everywhere, because people were revealing things that really causes troubles. So there's that, and that all leads to the more of a motivation to stopping Jack, the second storyline, which brings Chuck to create a weapon that pretty with no bullets, but it's pretty much whatever you dispense on the person is what you're putting back on yourself. So if you give that person a shot in the leg, you're also going to get that same shot in the leg. If you shoot them in the heart, you're going to get that same shot in the heart. So pretty much, it's a karma type thing. So Chuck claims he couldn't do it because if he kills Jack with the weapon, then it means he would die too, and that would mean the universe wouldn't survive, like we found out at the end of season 11. So there is that. Last scene of the episode show souls, surpriser here, souls from hell escaping, and then Castiel and the Winchesters getting swarmed by the zombies that, because they were in a cemetery, obviously. So the souls from hell ended up returning back to their bodies in the grave, and those bodies then rose up as zombies, and they were starting to swarm the hunters. So there's that. I'll get into everything very quickly. But tidbit wise, we do find out that Chuck and Amara have been traveling together around the universe, bonding since their departure in 1123. And currently, while Chuck is with us, she's currently in Reno, from what I can imagine. We also get some Chuck giving off some Thanos vibes with his snap attack, especially on Jack, or his references of a snap of his fingers and him fixing the world from the lying chaos. And this is hitting it home because today is like the night before Avengers Endgame is released worldwide, which I'm seeing this Saturday. But still, that's hitting it too close to home here. So there's that. We also do see Jack going to try to see his grandparents again, to try to bond with them and get to talk anymore, only to be confronted by the fact that they found out that they think he's been lying to them about knowing Kelly, now suspecting that he's behind her death, which technically he is, but now because of that confrontation, he came to realize that before he was really bothered by the fact that he was the cause of Kelly's death, and now he doesn't feel guilt anymore, which led him to realize that, yeah, I don't really feel anything. I'm not capable of feeling anymore, type of thing. So there is that. But end tally, death tally, surprisingly enough, Jack is killed by Chuck, and that is with a snap of Chuck's fingers. He causes the pretty much Jack to burn from the inside out, to the point that his eyes are burnt out and his wings are burnt into the ground like any other angel kill. So there's that. But Jack does end up in the empty, where he wakes up and he is confronted by Billy and the empty creature wanting to talk to him together. So that was something there. But let's move on to a shocking moment of the episode very quickly. I think it has to be Chuck. Not the fact that he appeared in the episode, because I suspected with the things we're going with Jack, Chuck would have to show up at one point or another. But it's just how he left things in the episode, and just the whole spin of it all is just it blew my mind. It's just like I wasn't expecting that. So it gives you a new perspective on things, which I'll lead to right now with top 3 favorite moments. First off, Chuck coming back automatically is going to be a favorite because he's a familiar face. He's one we have not seen for a very long time. So on many levels, even though it's something that's like, oh my god, I can't believe he did this type of moments, which should be peeve moments, it's still going to be a favorite because Chuck is back. It's like, it's like he brought another twist that I never knew. But anyways, I'll break it down a little more. I really appreciate the conversation between Sam and Chuck about the other worlds in the universe, the multiverse, I guess, and just talking about how, like, he was saying, like, of all the Sam and Deans in the universe, this Sam and Dean are his favorite, talking about all the different worlds he's created, thinking of them as the different worlds, thinking of them as his own, as different shows type of thing, which is interesting because then you also get, with Chuck, you get very meta vibes or fourth wall vibes because, like, technically Chuck is God and he created everything, he created life, so like everything, written destinies, all that, so pretty much everyone is playing everything out the way he written it, which is kind of like showrunners and all this, right? And then Sam and Dean saying, like, this isn't just a story, this is our lives type of thing. So it's just very meta because it's like, oh wow, it's like they're, as characters, they're kind of saying it to us as viewers, but also to their creators. It was very trippy for me. But there's that, which also leads me to the confrontation between that Sam and Dean had with Chuck about how he's been manipulating their lives this whole time, how he's pretty much written out their lives and stories, no matter what they think they're choosing as free will. He's been making them relive all this agony, losing someone, going through all these struggles just for his entertainment type of thing. Even though they think it's free will, it's really not, because they're playing into his world. Was just a crazy mind trip right there to begin with. But it's just the way that they were tag teaming each other while they were tag teaming tag teaming with each other while ganging up on Chuck during that whole argument was just like, that blew my mind. Like, I really got to go rewatch that again. Someone please put that on YouTube so I can go find it. So there is that. And then also another favorite or crazy thing I wasn't expecting was Sam shooting Chuck with the mirror gun. I'm calling it the mirror gun. Otherwise, it's going to be the karma gun. I don't know. Thankfully, he only shot him in the shoulder. But, like, Sam got the same injury, but Chuck didn't really get affected by it. So, like, he was lying about just the magnitude of what the gun could do, I'm guessing. Or it could be because he's God. He's not going to react to anything. So that's a saving grace there for Sam. But I was shocked that Sam picked up the gun and he did it without a thought type of thing. It kind of like a reaction. And I thought that was going to be the cliffhanger. And then I would have been left wondering, well, what happened to Sam? What happened to everybody else? Did it actually go through and everything? But then they continued it forward into my next favorite moment, which is when all these escaped souls from hell, which I wasn't expecting, to have Chuck do that to everybody, to unleash all the souls from hell back onto the world. I wasn't expecting to see creatures that we've seen since the very beginning of the show coming back. We got the woman in white appearing on the side of the road, which she was the very first creature in the series. She was in the pilot episode. And then we got the Rakshak, I can't even say his name, the Rakshasa, or the evil clown that appeared in 202. Then there's also Bloody Mary, who appeared in episode 105. And then you just see all these swarms of zombies and stuff like that. At one point, when the first zombie rose, I thought it looked like Alistair. But then, like, when they continued to rise from the dead, it was just like, I'm just left wondering, are we going to be seeing returned creatures coming back? It's just like, it was, don't get me wrong, it's a favorite only because it's playing homage back to the very beginning, to those monsters that really started it all, that really brought the show and got the momentum that it was going for, right? So that's why it's a favorite. But I was not expecting that to be that final scene. I thought really when Sam shot at Chuck, that would be the cut to black and with that cliffhanger type of thing. Instead, you have all these zombified creatures swarming our three hunters, and that was just like, whoa, that shouldn't be my favorite, but that was just definitely that's a showstopper right there, and I'm like stunned already. So there's that. And then another favorite I did have was the fact that Castiel trying to do everything he can to save Jack, wanting to risk everything to save Jack, trying to get him to somewhere safe so that he could buy him some time to fix Jack and get his soul back. So I really appreciate the loyalty that the loyalty that Cassio has towards Jack, and it was really great to see that Jack was confided in Cassio about how where he was coming from in all of his actions since getting his powers back, and how like trying to explain it, and then Cassio was just listening to him and just like, okay, and try to get Jack to quantify what had happened to him in words and like in a calm manner without any like retaliation. So I do appreciate that a lot. So it was just great to see that happening. But moving on to top 3 peeve moments, the only peeve I could think of first off is that Jack is dead, obviously. Though that last scene that we saw of him in the space of the empty has me thinking he's not, like, that's not the last we'll see of him. But I'll leave that for questions later, though. But another peeve was the fact that while I did appreciate getting the homage back to the old monsters from the earlier seasons of Supernatural, it's a peeve for me because that if they're all back, that means all the hard work and all the sacrifices that the Winchesters have done over the last 14 years have been for nothing then, if all those creatures have returned to wreak more havoc once again. So that's the only peeve there, to have pretty much everything that they've done be erased. Erased because they managed to upset God to the point that like that's it. Like, I've given you peace and like now I'm taking it away from you type of thing. And that's another thing too, for like the fact that God turned on them and pretty much brought on, like, humanity was supposed to be his most greatest creations, right? So like, why would he want to descend even more chaos and destruction onto it just to get back at 2 humans who did everything they could to make sure that your greatest creations still lived to see another day, right? It just seemed like very petty behavior that a powerful being would be able to get away with. So there's that. I really should have done 20 minutes, really. Let's be honest. But anyways, what will I remember most when I look back on this episode? Season finale for sure. The fact that I think Chuck turned evil, or maybe Chuck just showed his true colors. At first, when Sam was saying, like, you're getting a joy out of this and stuff like that, I thought, like, maybe it was a creature masquerading as Chuck. But then, like, when he started, like, doing all, like, these bits, but then when he ended up using his powers against Jack, and then when he ended up not reacting to the karma gun and everything like that, it was just like, oh, crap, this is still Chuck, this is still God, and, like, he's really turned against him. He's not an ally anymore type of thing. So it's just that's going to be a huge reminder there. But let's move on to random questions very quickly. This is what I can think of in the first 10 minutes after the episode ended for me. So the first one being, if all the souls escape from hell, what does that mean for us? Us meeting the hunters or the humans of their world. Does that mean a lot of old enemies will be coming back does that mean a lot of enemies would be coming back that we have to refight again? Although I guess that's another question too. All the spirits that they ended up banishing and destroying when they burn up that last piece that tethers them to the earthly plane, they just go to even heaven or hell, I guess. So like, now we've seen that they go to hell. So what does that mean for us now? Are we going to be seeing some old classics coming back that we have to take a second trip down memory lane type of thing? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see about that. Second question is that, Cassio brought up how Billy's warning about Dean dying because of Michael having changed because of Jack. I'm wondering if that was truly the case, or if Billy just lied and said that all the books were one thing except for this one that she showed him. Because it's not like he saw all the other books and they all read the same thing. She told him that. So I'm wondering if that was a lie, or if that was actually the truth, and Jack just ended up being the unpredictable card that they didn't know was in play type of thing. So there's that. Another thing talking about Billy is the fact that with Billy and the empty creature and the creature of the empty wanting to talk with Jack, do you think that they would negotiate the idea of resurrecting Jack if it meant that he could help save the world from what Chuck had just unleashed onto it. And also, if they do resurrect him again, could his soul be intact then, instead of him going back without his soul and restarting the whole problem once again? So that's another thing to consider as well. And another question is, if Chuck is the reason all the worlds in the multiverse become apocalyptic, or, hold on, I'm not phrasing it right. Okay. Question is it possible that Chuck is the very reason why a lot of the worlds in the multiverse would have ended up in an apocalyptic state because they refused to play out the story he had created for each and every one of them? Because in this world, in the Winchester's world, the moment that they disagreed to play into his way of the story, that's when he unleashed hell on Earth, pretty much. So I'm wondering if that's been the same way to all the other worlds that he's lost count of. Right? So that's another thing then. Is Chuck, and then also, which leads to my final question, is Chuck going to be the major villain of the final season? Has Chuck been the villain all along? Or has all the villains been playing under Chuck's games as well without realizing it? Because if that's the case, then damn, he is a good manipulator. It kind of makes you sad too, because he's supposed to be this can't even say the word, benevolent being, right? It's like, wow, that's a huge mind trip right there. Alright, anyways, predictions, very quickly. Since it is the season finale, there's no way I'm going to have any predictions. I mean, I have so many speculations, even more so ramped up because we know this is the final season. But could you imagine if this episode ended up being the series finale? Like, oh, I would have been pissed. So I'm glad we got this final season coming up. I have no idea what they can do with these last 20 episodes. Anything could go, even more so than usual. So I'm also wondering if they're going to bring a lot of familiar faces back that are either dead or alive, just to play a part in the story. Maybe I have no idea, but I'm truly excited for it. We won't know an inkling of anything until the CW upfronts, which happened on May 16th, 2019. This will be the first hint we'll get of what to expect in this final season. I am going to do a little brief video about that, so be on the lookout for that. And then the next time we actually get any true information about the final season will be at the San Diego Comic-Con, happening at the end of July. So I will do a video about that, so be on the lookout for that as well. But otherwise, then we just gotta wait until October for the final run of it all. I'm truly excited for it. I'm also very terrified at the same time. But this episode, I honestly did not know what to expect. I mean, you kind of know where the story was leading things towards, but then at the same time, it did things that's like, I was not expecting that twist. Like, you expected them to go after Jack. You expected one of them to make the sacrifice that would be needed, but then to find out that, nope, this other unknown player has been pulling the strings this whole time. It's like, wow. So anyways, I'm just going to leave it at that. What did you guys think of the season finale? Please let me know in the comments down below. I'd love to hear your own thoughts, reactions, theories about the final season. Please share them with me. Start the conversation, please. I'm dying to know, because I really need to talk about this. But otherwise, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel, check out my other videos if you haven't done so already. If you want, check out my Tumblr page. The link for that is down below. I reblog promos, web clips, quotes, gifs, synopses, news, all the good stuff found in one place. Go check that out. I am behind. I'm hoping in this hiatus run, I will be up to date, or at least post a whole bunch of other stuff to get me up to date before the final season starts. So fingers crossed for that for me. Otherwise, WordPress account, link for that is down below. Anything I post online is connected to WordPress. More organized, more detailed, but still work in progress, so keep that in mind as well. Also, my live journal entry, the link for that is down below. It's a detailed yet jot-noted version of the episode as a summary to keep things in detailed and in line for me to go back to check. I do tend to miss smaller details and stuff, so if it helps me, I just post it in hopes that it would help you guys as well. I am behind on releasing them, or making them public. They are there. I just got to format them. But it's only privately seen for me at this moment until they're all ready and set for your eyes. So be on the lookout for that. Otherwise, the link down below will just lead you to the page that you'll find them all at eventually. So please give me time for that. But otherwise, that is pretty much it, guys. So thank you so much for tuning in, not only for this video, but for any of my videos this year. I truly appreciate it. It means the world to me. I hope you come back to see what I have to say about any of my next videos, or even about my CW Upfront or any of the San Diego Comic-Con videos I plan to do, just to get a little bit of a insight of what's to come. So I do hope to see you check those out as well. But otherwise, until then, this is Mel. Wish you all a great day, great week, wherever you are. Take care, guys. Bye.